Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Welcome. My draw, Quishy, Eo, Longinus, Dunder, welcome in. You guys are having a great Thursday. Let's go ahead and jump in and get ready to paint. So I'm gonna grab, that's our color, I think. Yep, make a good shake here. We're going to start with some contrast. Maybe, let's see. Just trying to figure out what we're doing. Another color I want. Yep, it's a day that ends in Y. Yeah, it's true. Well, I've had a good morning so far, so productive. And I have lots of primed minis to paint, so we are properly set up to start painting some minis. And we're going to start with this lovely vampire here, who may or may not be Vlad von Carstein. And this sculpt may or may not look a lot like Vlad von Carstein's sculpt, but we're going to paint it anyway. So I have, let's see, I have some Black Legion contrast paint. We're just going to pull this right out of the container. His armor is black, but not all of it is black. So his knees, let's see, it looks like these waist kind of hip pieces are gold. This crest is gold. His shoulder is gold, and it looks like these kind of elbow flanges and elbow pieces are gold. And then he has a big cowl in the back that's gold. So yeah, he loves gold. Oh man, I want to watch those movies. I want to watch Austin Powers. This sounds like a good time. It's been a little while since I've used contrast on something, but we're gonna base coat these with some contrast. Let's see where we can get with it. What's up, Raja? AKA Former, welcome back. How you doing? How have you been? Empire's cool. Is that a specific count? So this is a 3D print that I found. So it's an STL I found and I printed. And if you look up Vlad von Carstein, this is almost a 1-to-1, like an updated version with his old miniature. So that's what this is. It's Vlad von Carstein. Yeah, he had an old mini from, I don't know, 2009 maybe, when it came out, or before. I don't remember. It may have came out well before that, but yeah, and this mini's nice looking. It just looks like a good updated version of that. Yeah, it could be the Count from Sesame Street. I'm just being careful with the contrast. I want to come back and, get all the highlights and everything eventually, but gotta start somewhere. Yeah, Dunder, how you feeling? Still not decided on Skaven or Lizards for next Blood Bowl team to paint. Dang. Both of those are really fun, like, minis to paint anyway. Not knowing what specifics go on with their Blood Bowl teams. Just Skaven are really cool, and Lizardmen are also really cool, so I don't think you can really go wrong picking a team.
It's clean. It's cold.
Hey, hydrate and stretch, absolutely.
And that's what I call high quality H2O.
Just a moment. Just a moment, thank you. Let's stay hydrated today. Got your third Tomb King done. Just 11 more? Hey, you're making progress. That's what matters. Alright. Good deal. Progress is progress. Okay. Let's get up and stretch here. Skaven would paint up faster. Yeah. Vampire reminds me of pal Vlad. You can always count on him. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. Alright. Alright. And a drink of water. Nice, delicious water. When asked my favorite vampire, replied the one from Sesame Street. My friend said he didn't count. I assured him that was about all he did. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did you name this model Asterion? No, I did not. No, his name is Vlad. Or Vlad, depending on how American you are. Coffee, you painted some British? Alright, nice. Did you say Juan? I did not say Juan. Vlad, currently not impaling anyone. Correct. So this Vlad is from Warhammer Fantasy. He's Vlad von Karstein. And his whole thing was he was born an aristocrat, so he was born like super wealthy and like heir to a state in the Empire called Sylvania. And one day he got turned into a vampire. You know, just as you do, and then took over ruling Sylvania and just kept ruling it for a very long time. And he was a good ruler, and people were cool with it, and didn't mind that every once in a while some random person would go missing and would never show up again. And so he would do that. Well, he ended up being pretty unhappy with the Empire as a whole because he felt he is the rightful ruler of the Empire of Man, and he would be the best at it. And the other rulers of the Empire disagreed, so he kind of went to war with all of them. And I think in an early battle he was killed, and then like the next day he was at the next battle, and people were like, "What's going on? I thought I killed him," and they just kept happening. Well, he actually has this fancy ring, which is this little thing right here. He's got a ring on his finger that he's showing everybody. Kind of see it there. There you go. And it's called the Von Karstein ring. Surprise, that's named that. But he is in Total War. Yes. Yep. But yeah, with his ring, it makes him regenerate super fast, even as a vampire. So I can cut off his head or kill him or anything, as long as he has his ring. He'll be good. He can walk it off. Yep, definitely bad blood between Vlad and the Empire. Cool if that ring would be on his middle finger. Yeah, it's on his like ring finger, so that would be pretty funny. But he also has a wife named Isabella, and him and Isabella are pretty funny in the lore because they're like madly in love with each other. Like more than it seems like any other couple in all of Warhammer. And he didn't want to turn her to a vampire, but when she was on her deathbed, he was kind of forced to, basically, or she kind of made him or whatever. And so they are like absolutely truly in love with each other, and it's kind of their thing. And as their actual story goes, he's invading the Empire, and they found out about his ring, that he kept coming back to life. Well, the Empire had the super sneaky thief guy, I can't remember his name, but he was able to sneak into the vampire camp during the day when everyone was sleeping, and he managed to steal the ring from Vlad. And then they went to battle that night. Vlad was furious, and he went to kill the elector count, basically, of that state. And in the process, he was killed. Him and the elector, I think they threw themselves off the top of the wall and like landed on a wooden spike or something, and both died. And Isabella saw him die and knew he didn't have his ring, and she threw herself off the top of the wall and died. So couldn't live without each other, even in unlife. Couldn't deal with it. And yeah, they're both playable. Both of them are playable in Total War. And they're in the same faction, and you can start with either one as your faction leader, and then the other one like joins you, basically. That contrast is pulling this color out really nicely. Good. That's good. Is the vampire that betrayed everyone, or is that a different... That's a different vampire. That's Manfred. That is one of the proteges of Vlad. Who's a real big jerk. I think CK3 at some point. I feel like I'm gonna use it as a dating sim. Are you talking about Crusader Kingdoms 3? Is that the game you're talking about? I have never heard it described as a dating sim. Huh. Do worse. Yeah, Manfred. Yeah, Manfred is worse. But Vlad was, he had a somewhat legitimate claim to the Empire, even though the way the Empire works is they elect the Emperor. but he felt like he had a legitimate claim, and he ran a pretty reasonable state, a decent governor, but he just got pretty angry at some people. Nice vibrant red to start. Look at that. Time romancing my queen and sending out proposals than running my country. Might be the biggest tool in all of Warhammer, including... No, Erebus is so much worse than Manfred. Like, Manfred stinks, but yeah, Erebus is by far the worst. Yeah, I really don't think there is a comparison there. Okay. For the Emperor of Human Empire to be human and not a vampire. I mean, he is / was human. Not like an elf that was given the blood kiss or anything, you know? Why are vampire counts cooler than Soulblight Gravelords? Because it's in Warhammer Fantasy and not in Age of Sigmar. That's why. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. I don't want to be racist, but... And then proceeds to say something racist. Yeah, YouTube comments show on... Oh, they should show on screen, don't they? Can you use 40k models in fantasy? Like Night Lords as a vampire? I don't know about that. I'm sure there's some way you can probably make it work. It does. Oh, okay, okay. Some rich gold here. Was not legally obligated to attend jury duty. Okay, yeah, that is an interesting fact, I guess, or a fun fact. It's an odd crossbow, yeah. Yeah, Warhammer Fantasy lore is great. Especially the undead stuff. Today's the day I'm getting my husband back for running me through the bench press gauntlet. Oh, okay, okay. Good luck. Feeling good. I am 4 for 4 this week. 4 days working out out of my four weekdays, so feels really good to get back into it in full force. Why aren't there that many heavily armored vampires? Do not care about taking damage. No, vampires are super heavily armored usually, but Yeah, there is kind of a thing in Warhammer Fantasy. I know in the rules, mainly this is a rule in a lot of the editions where if you're wearing armor, you can't cast spells. So yeah, if you want someone to be able to cast their spells and use magic, then don't give them any armor. Vampires are inherently magical beings, so in the game you'll normally pay points to make them wizards, but then you don't want to give them armor because then you can't use that. So you don't always have to do that, but yeah, that's kind of how magic tends to work. And there's certain ways that like you can get units armor and still let them cast spells. Vampires have a magic item, and they've had that magic item in most editions where you can wear armor and still cast spells. So that's cool. But there are definitely plenty of heavily armored vampires around. I feel like Vlad here wears a lot of armor for a dude whose ring just resurrects him immediately. So better off in robes as a mage than armor. Yes, yeah. Yep, there are exceptions to that, but for the most part, that's how it works. Yeah, the armor is straight just for aura farming, yeah. At least for a vampire. There's good lore in Warhammer Fantasy about this kind of house of vampires called the Strigoi, and the Strigoi have a really interesting story. The Strigoi vampires and like the ghouls and stuff. That's kind of where the Flesh Eater courts came from. Those models and like that style, but the lore is that original vampires were from Nehekhara, which is like ancient Egypt, and Warhammer. It's like the Tomb Kings, if you guys have seen those. The vampires like coming into existence kind of led to the downfall of Nehekhara and everything. It was a whole thing, but they split up. So different vampires that had kind of different protege went to different places, and there's this guy named Ursuran. I can't remember what exactly it was. He's the big guy in Age of Sigmar now. But that guy, Ursuran, is it Ursuran? I don't know. But he founded a kingdom, and he was running it very well, and had a huge, powerful empire that kind of kept to themselves, and it was all cool. The people were cool. Hershey ran. Yeah, not Hershey ran. It's that giant mini that came out. Was that last year? The giant ghoul dude. But yeah, so they had this big, like, successful empire. Everybody was thriving. People were happy. Except, every once in a while, a random person, homeless person would just go missing and never return again. Due to the vampires having to eat people or drink their blood or whatever, potato. So, totally cool. Well, there was an orc war that happened, and the empire was called, what was the empire called? I can't remember what the empire was called. But it was attacked by these orcs. It could not fend them off, even with all the powerful vampires and all the money and everything it had, and it was destroyed, like completely wiped out by the orcs. And the vampires fled. Some of the vampires fled, and they were not welcome anywhere else, because all the other vampires were paranoid of each other, so they were forced to like go into hiding. And the only places they could like really hide were in like graveyards and like crypts and stuff, like where they could sleep and not be bothered, basically. So all these vampires went into these graveyards, and that's kind of where they hid, because they weren't welcome in like the castles or the kingdoms of the other vampires and stuff. And so they wouldn't usually feed off of living people, but they would feed off the corpses that came in. So they don't blow their cover or whatever, and so they became like really decrepit looking, because apparently feeding on dead creatures is worse for you. But so they slowly became, like really decrepit, but then also part of them living in graveyards is like their presence would attract certain undead creatures, like ghouls, who are people that ate other people at some point, and they have like a taste for human flesh, and different things like that. But yeah, so they're like these monstrous looking vampires, but they were once like kings of this powerful empire, and now they're stuck like haunting graveyards and eating corpses. And they look awesome too. If you look up like Strigoi vampires, they're great. It is story time. Yep. You missed the story. Apparently what your coworker had to say was more important. Long story short, I really like Warhammer Fantasy lore, and the vampire lore is all cool. There's another vampire who, he was like the Queen's champion. Yeah. But turkey breast in the air fryer? Okay, alright. Just be protected, we've got to be fabulous now, yeah. Followed by a very benign see the responses. I like that, Raja, yeah. I'm not racist, but your hair looks very nice today. Like it just set people off. That's so bad. That's such a terrible way to start something, to start a conversation. Make sure her office was actually clean. Yeah, she can clean it. It's fine. Oh, but yeah, there was this like this baller vampire. He was like the Queen's personal bodyguard. And when they all got separated and everything, he was basically tired of eating people, so he's like, I don't want to eat people anymore. How can I like stop myself from doing this? So they learned it's not good if you just stop eating people. You turn into a giant monster, basically. But he kind of went on a quest to see if he can like fix his hunger, and it led him into these mountains. And in the mountains, he went into a cave, and he came upon a sleeping dragon, and he decided to drink the dragon's blood. And in drinking the dragon's blood, his thirst is quenched, and he never had to drink blood again. He was just permanently like superhuman, basically, without any of the drawbacks. So yeah, he went around, and there were people that found out, like other vampires that found... Yeah, the dragon died. He completely killed the dragon by drinking all of its blood. Dude was thirsty. But he... So other vampires heard about it. What's his name? I gotta look this up. Yeah, let's see. Abrash. He was Abrash. It's like 3 a.m. You see a glass of water by her bed? Yeah. Abhor. Abhorash. Abrash. Yep. So other vampires heard about it and they thought it was super cool, and so yeah, morning's in morning. So they decided to like try to mimic him, to like find a dragon and drink its blood and like solve their hunger and everything. So they became the blood dragon vampires. That's what they became known as. And he also one day was just chilling and decided to go to this castle with a bunch of knights in it, and was like, hey, I'm gonna kill you all. And they're like, no, you're not. And he's like, who's the most honorable one to fight me? And like someone stepped up, and Abrash killed the dude. Was that Abrash? Was that Abrash or one of his protege? I think it may. I think it was Abrash. But anyway, and he killed the dude. And so the next person stepped up and he killed the dude. And the next person stepped up and he killed the dude. Well, he was just killing every night in this castle. And eventually, well, every once in a while, he would say like, "Oh, this person's worthy," and he would like bite them basically, and like knock them out and set them to the side, and then like continue on like killing them until he got through everyone in the keep. And the ones he deemed worthy that he bit became vampires, and they took over that castle essentially, and they became known as the Knights of Blood Keep, or the Blood Knights. And so they're like proteges of this blood dragon dude, and yeah, and they're just like absolute monsters in combat. And Blood Knights are some of the coolest models in Warhammer, and like Warhammer Fantasy also. Blood Knights as a concept is, yeah, it is, yeah. They're very cool. So yeah, it's just a knightly order of vampires that were like handpicked by this dude who was like the ultimate vampire combatant. They did get a new model, yeah. I have 10 of them for my my Vampire Counts army on Square Base. I painted them last year. I think it was last year I painted those. Did you look those up, Mystic? Did you look up the Blood Knights? They're great minis, aren't they? No, they did not get his lack of bloodthirst. No, you have to kill a dragon. You have to drink a dragon's blood to get that. So they're still normal vampires. Yeah, they're fantastic minis though. But they are among the strongest knights in all of Warhammer. So I realized the charger just wasn't plugged in. Oh no. Rough morning, huh? Sounds like a rough morning. Yeah, because in Warhammer, when you become a vampire, you get like superhuman powers essentially. So you become super fast and strong and everything, but you just have the curse of, you have to drink blood. It very much matters the type of blood you drink, apparently. So, Big Papa, what's going on? Art of Abrash? Like, did he say anything about... Oh my gosh. Abrash is going to be in Total War also. I think he's coming with the DLC this summer. The Nagash DLC. Because he ended up being one of the, like, one of Nagash's Mortarchs is what he called them, like lieutenants. Yeah. Gundam tournament. Yeah, this is still recovering from the tournament, man. Yeah, reveal stream is tomorrow. Yeah, it's like 2:30 p.m. or so, I think. I'll be watching and probably posting. I don't think I'm going to stream that. So, all the rumors, we were talking about this last night in the Patreon hangout. You guys should come chilling. But Custodes for Heresy. Next campaign book, which is Maelstrom, so Red Corsairs and Prince Uriel Eldar stuff, Eldar Corsairs, for 40k. God knows what for Age of Sigmar. Ogres, maybe? They hinted at ogres a while ago. They put out some teasers for them. So maybe ogres for Age of Sigmar. And then Blood Bowl is possibly a High Elf Blood Bowl team. So. You gotta paint more British? Go for it. Do it. How'd the weathering powder turn out? Looking good? I'm looking at here. Let me see here. Okay. Lazy. You haven't varnished me yet. Oh, okay, okay. It's like red clay. Okay, okay. Custodians, Red Corsairs, Eldar Corsairs for sure. There's been hinting at Samuel for Dark Angels as well. Also a pirate stream. Wouldn't surprise me that the Vampire Coast of the Old World. They're not doing the Old World for this stream, John Lockridge. So that's not one of the games they're announcing, unfortunately. Which is really too bad. Played 6 hours straight of a game called Hunt Showdown. Yeah, I'm familiar with Hunt Showdown, yeah. I have not heard anything about Samuel. I didn't hear that one. Ready with my 104k channel points? I don't know. I don't know, man. You play with a couple streamers. Nice. Oh, there we go. Side of this.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Vampire Coast needs to make an appearance. Yeah, they have a great aesthetic. They do. Yeah. Yeah, there might be Chaos Bikers. I know there is a unit that they're gonna show off called the Red Corsair Raiders. Whether that's a bike unit or not, I don't know. But
Team is cold. And that's what I call
another
a
drinking
cloudy
stretch.
duo.
Absolutely. One moment. Got some gold on his arm. Streaming. Don't Starve Together with a couple oddballs on Saturday. Oh, that's cool. All right. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Shadow hints along Sense of Chaos Apothecary teased a new Psyker. Yeah, I think there's gonna be some Xenos in his like squad too. Like it looks pretty crazy. Yeah, the his like command squad. this gold back out. What's up, Raven Hobbies? Hey, showing up before I'm turning stream off. Actually, I gotta go, guys. Sorry, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What's going on, Raven Hobbies? It is rude. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I'm doing really well. Yeah. Feeling good. It's been a good day so far. All right. You going to Adepticon? No, I'm not going to Adepticon. And I don't think you've asked that before, but I don't have any plans to go to Adepticon. Yeah, thanks, Night Trap. This is just Pro Curl Rich Gold. Well, yeah, Pro Curl's fantastic paint. Just working on some base colors at this time. Or PA Bronze. Yeah, bronze is an incredible color. It's one of my favorites to use, even if I don't use it a whole lot. What I should have done looking back was use it on my Thousand Suns instead of the gold. On them I should have used bronze. I saw someone do that and it looks so good. Same with my Ultramarines. Bronze looks so good as like a gold replacement for like Grimdark minis. Okay, fur coat. It's got some... I don't know, is it a bear skin, maybe? Looking pretty good. His flesh... Let's see, how weird do we want to get with the skin here? OG Fellbats looked hideous. I prefer the newer ones, but if they add them to the old world, I hope the bats get new plastics to fit the vibe and not hurt the eyes. Yeah. I love the AOS Fellbat minis. I use them. They're just really expensive for what they are. Like, they cost more in dollars than they do in points, which is pretty crazy. But, yeah, coat with the fur, yeah. But yeah, I have 3 of them that I use, and I would definitely take more if I had more. They're fun to paint. They're just weird to rank up, and they're very, like, dynamic. So, like, when they have their wings spread out, they're hard to rank up. Okay. We want dead necrotic looking flesh in a way. Is it purple or a green? Maybe this color as a base color, and then we build up this like sea green here, the dark green blue. We'll just start with the base color. What metallic? Which metallic? This one? That's not metallic. Oh, the gold is rich gold. Yeah, I'm gonna do this dark green blue. Because I like the idea of like a blue or a purple, but I think green is really appropriate for, like, you know, necrotic flesh. We call him Dark Seabend, yeah. Hey, Gilded Brush, welcome in. How are you doing? Yeah, the cool undertones. Yeah. He's got a lot of warm colors on him, right? So keep with a nice cool color. Cooling down from your walk. Okay. Must have been a serious walk. Two and a half miles every morning. Very nice. He will have white hair, yeah. Yeah, his hair is going to be white. Best looking models are the ones not only contrast colors but also temperatures. Yeah, no, that's a fair opinion. I think that's a good call. Work from home, so doing more to get active. Yeah, it's important. Okay, and we're going to get to his hair in a little bit, but we're going to start with a couple other things first. And the first thing I'm going to start with is this gold. And I don't want to do a red wash on the gold. I don't want it to be too orange, so I'm going to tone it down and wash it with this brown-gray wash, which is pretty close to like a Agrax Earthshade. A little more black than brown, but it's a very nice wash. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I got, you know, I feel like I had a stretch there with like so much going on where I didn't get to the gym like I wanted to, and so this week I am 4 days out of 4 at the gym, so it's good. Finally feel like I'm getting back into a routine and doing the things I want and need to do, so.
Look at me!
Good, alright. Tell me where I'm looking. In whips. Alright, I will check it here in just a few minutes. Let me get this wash going here. Two Night Lords is silver metallic. One is cooler, one is warmer. It's subtle, but once the dark blue and the warmer one looks better. Yeah. System keep each other. He programs upper body per. Okay, all right. My wife and I don't go to the gym at the same time. Our schedules are too different. She also has very different goals than I do, so. Got Fracty for your Night Lords. Okay, for 40k Night Lords. Yeah. Nice. No, that's cool. Can't imagine someone would look at those and be like, I didn't know those were Terminators. The only difference is the calorie allotment, yeah. Okay, let's rinse. I'm gonna wash this bear skin down here. But let's look at Mystic's mini that she painted. Oh, it's the lion. Nice. Yeah, really nice. All right. That green, the green cloak is like it's so vibrant. Yeah, the sword looks really good. Yeah, great stuff. And is that mistletoe that that little watcher's carrying, or like holly or whatever? What is that? Yeah, very very Christmas themed lion. Yeah, it's holly. Okay, okay. Does his shield have like a screen on the inside or something? I noticed the like blue glow coming from the inside of his shield onto his arm and stuff. Lionel Johnson is the worst. Power thing? I don't know the lore. Okay, okay. But there's like a something shining light from inside the shield. Nice. You know, I want to know who's the one Primarch that everybody would agree was awesome. And why is it Jagged Icon? Because I know that's the only acceptable answer. It's not Magnus because there are some people in the world who have bad opinions, but... Yeah, that's probably it, Mystic, yeah. Well, 1 second, guys. All right. Right now, he looks like the vampire from Dungeon Soup. That's what his face reminds me of. You guys have seen Dungeon Soup on YouTube. Yeah, he's so funny. The vampire is one of the best characters. And his little like Igor assistant, it's great. So he's slapping himself in the head. He gets like... does Dinglemeyer? Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that, but that's funny, yeah. It makes you uncomfortable. It's so good. It's so funny. while we're waiting, we can take some of this black brown that I got out. It's on the base. I'm shifting my chair nervously, laughing. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay. So for probably is the color to start here. It's the teeth, yeah. Yeah, everybody does have weird teeth in that. Yeah, the animation's weird. It definitely takes some getting used to. they draw the gums, yeah. This is burnt red that we're using here. Yeah. Lots of lovely spirits or ghost people or something. In his cloak. Try to get them. Trophies? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They're like living in his cloak. I'm not sure of the story behind it. Vampire liquors. What? Alright, we're going to take red oxide. That's my next color. So, next step up. It's not too much brighter. It's good. Vampires need special liquor to get drunk. They probably don't get drunk, or they just get drunk off humans. Or if it's like what we do in the shadows, if you drink drunk humans, you can get drunk. Like human blood that's... yeah, from someone who's drunk. Because the alcohol content, you know, like the blood alcohol level is so high. Look up who that was, but I agree. The style is right in the uncanny valley, yeah. It is. It's so funny though, Raja. Hey, Misfit. How are you doing? Just sitting at work? Nice. Sounds like a busy day. That's cool though. Kratos. Wash it. Yeah, it helps you thin down your washes. But yeah, that's always it's always a nerve-wracking thing to do if you're gonna put wash in a giant mini. Painting your minis your job? It's my job. Yeah. It's what I do. So we need a commission. Send me a message. Time to go brighter. Do this orange red now. This is our color. You got to be careful. You really need to thin your washes down if you're going to wash it with an airbrush. And you just have to be really careful not to overdo it, whether it's, pulling too much or, not airbrushing heavy enough, because you got to airbrush pretty heavy to get the wash to kind of activate how you need it to. So you don't want it to just sit and layer up like a clear paint or something. Yeah, I have done that many times and have made many mistakes. Also be ready with, paper towels or sponges or something afterward to pick up pooled paint. You gotta be really diligent about all the paint pooling that happens, because there will be a lot. What's up, Grooby? How you doing? Try not to look at the news and make things. Yeah, it's fair. Aren't we all right now? Couple hours to ignore the world around us. Paper towels. Yeah, paper towels might leave, little fibers, but you need something to pick up the liquid. Broke the nozzle off my airbrush last night over tightening it. Oh, that's rough. Two LARP weapons commission, a few other things before it's back to eBay. Nice. You have two Saturn IV Ultras. Dang. Still blisters? A little blister. Yeah, the little blister foam sheets or whatever were incredible. They were so useful for so many different things. the biggest loss from going from metal to resin. Was those little blister packs. Right. Nice detailed cape. I think we're gonna stop there on the cape for the moment. And let's get some gold. I'm not gonna use rich gold again. I'm gonna use bright gold. And they tasted so good. What? The foams? Okay. All right. Yeah, all the metal bits. Yeah, all the flashing and the tabs and everything that you would get on the metal minis, extremely useful. Yeah. Because you use them to weigh down other minis. Like you glue them on the bottoms of bases and stuff. Or to like fill gaps or... yeah, you could do so much. Kids these days won't understand. With the fiddly bits. Yeah, yeah. I have large vehicles to paint. I really don't want to brush on my wash. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Last time, it was last year, I had a bunch of tanks I got, and I decided to airbrush wash I messed it up. And was really late into the painting process where I admitted that I put everything on way too heavy, and all the minis were way too dark, and I had to, like, take an extra day to go through, and I had to get like mineral spirits, and I kind of wiped away a lot of the paint. It was like a whole thing. And yeah, I was kind of like, man, I wish I would just hand wash these. So don't overdo it. Also, yours are Iron Warriors, right? Misfits, so like you can kind of overdo it on Iron Warriors and you're good. Ever use Tomb King's bits on your Thousand Suns? I haven't personally, but I do know of the technique. I know people that do use those bits. So I'm not unfamiliar with it, I just haven't. I don't have many Tomb King's bits. I have like a small handful that I've had for 15 years at this point. A misaligned cast? Yeah, you would get those too, sometimes. They weren't super common, but you would get them every once in a while.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I
Hey, Spiredine, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. How are you guys doing? How's your stream? I am the painting dad. I chill and paint most days of the week. That's what I do, and we're painting a vampire right now. It's going to be added to the old world army that I have, so my Vampire Counts army. Venting my daily frustrations through painting and streaming. Yeah. I am known to go on rants every now and then, but I get it. The sound effects always catch me off guard. That's the point, right? Technology repeatedly fail. Yeah, that happens to me too. I had a good like year-long stint of just like almost every stream like something wasn't working, whether it was, you know, the internet or something in my PC or the streaming software or just something. Incredibly frustrating. Making fun of space holes makes bad thoughts go away. That's true. That is true. Discord notification every 30 seconds or so. The Gremlins had... Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Yeah, Jaded Valkyrie. Yeah, when my stream just kept cutting out. Oh, it's so frustrating. Does have quite a bit of gold. Alright, first bit of gold. Let's get a little bit of white gold out. That's this color right here. And we're going to mix it. Mix it in with the bright gold. Go back through this gold. What were we working on stream, Spire? You were painting. What were you painting? You were still chilling. If not, that's okay. I understand. As we jump off stream, we just need to chill. Finishing updating some of my Chaos Knight War Dogs. Oh, cool. Alright. And painting Eldar Hellions. You know, those Eldar Hellions got a bad rap, I think, when they released for, like, their aesthetic. But I think when people see them in person, I think their opinions are completely changed. You know, I was similar to that. Where they were probably my least favorite mini when they initially previewed all those Dark Eldar back in, like, 2010. But as soon as I picked up some boxes and looked at them in person, I thought the minis were incredible. You know, camera adds 10 pounds and all. Do you know the lore reason of lightning on Night Lord's armor? Could wear a terror be on top of lightning or below? I don't know. What is the lore reason for lightning on their armor? I would imagine just paint it on. Because, like, lightning's spooky or something. You still think they're a bit dumb looking? Okay, that's fair. Yeah. I remember, way back when, it may have been like 2011, I signed up for a tournament. It was like my first 40k tournament I ever went to. And I needed 2,000 points. I didn't have 2,000 points of Dark Eldar. I was close, but didn't have it. And the fastest and cheapest way for me to get to that points value was by just buying 3 boxes of Hellions. Let me know where I'm looking. And so I bought 15 of them, and I did a unit of 14 and made one into Baron Sathonix, who was like a unique, like the Hellion commander guy. And yeah, brought them for my list, and that's what I ran. Went 3-0 that tournament. It was really good. Love to share, but I don't know how. If you jump into the Discord, League of Iron Solari, welcome in. If you join the Discord, and you can post, and we have a like a work in progress channel, and we also have like a finished projects channel. And if you have minis, if you post a picture in there, and you want me to take a look, I don't criticize or judge or give advice unless you're asking for it. So I just like seeing people's painted minis, seeing what you're working on. So yeah, thank you for linking that other stuff. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that gold. We'll get to a skin eventually. He looks a bit unnatural at the moment, but painting some skeletons on lunch. Nice. Dark Angel's successor, very cool.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. You jump into the put it in finished project. Oh, sweet. Lord Solar Leontis. Oh, very nice. All right, let's see it. Oh, wow, it looks really good. Nicely done. Man, I like the use of like different colors. Like you got the purple kind of, I don't know what that is, like the sash or whatever, and then blue and red capes and the green cloth. That's great. Great stuff. Do you use a lot of like, is that a lot of like contrast and speed paints that you use there? Or what kind of paints were you using on that? It looks like a lot of, if I had to guess, I would guess some various contrast-like paints. Having a large pile of shame seems appropriate for Dark Angels, yeah. Mostly speed paints, but the cape is acrylic, yeah. I think if I were to give some advice on here, I think one simple thing you can do to kind of tie everything together a little bit is take a wash, whether it's like Nuln Oil or like an Agrax Earthshade kind of thing, and like the horse, all the metallics and like the is it leather, mechanical? What, I don't know what's going on with the horse, but like give it a good wash to kind of get in those recesses, all those recesses, and it'll shade it, and it'll kind of like bring everything together a bit, make it look a little grittier. But yeah, if anything, I think that's probably a relatively simple thing you could do. Honestly, I think it looks great. I think you did a great job on it. Alright, let's see, what do we work on? Let's just the sword real quick. Yeah. Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining the community. Thank you for the sub, and thank you for sharing your work. A lot of people are can be nervous about sharing, their hobby or the minis they paint, especially to like an unknown community. You don't know if it's like, are people going to be judgmental? But even if it's like, are people just like insanely good painters, and do I feel like I'm, I was like that. I feel like I'm not going to fit in or whatever. People are going to make fun of my work or something. I still feel like that sometimes. Painting, but I love the speed paint. Much change. Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Hey, you got something you love to do, and like, we can all be fans of like, you want to improve with your hobby and you want to do better and all that stuff. But you know what? If you got something you love to do, and it gets minis painted, and you're having fun, then by all means, that's all you got to do. Only person you need to make happy in this hobby is yourself. Alright, what I am going to do... Where's my color? I believe... grab this olive flesh as our color. Or do I have something better? Let's see. Some nice colors here. Yeah, I think I want to do this. I want to do this green-gray. 50 degrees outside, I thought I was going to die. Really? Because it's cold? It's like 12 here. 12 degrees. Quishy, how often do you eat turkey? I'm curious, because I know you live in Eastern Europe, and turkey is a very American thing. So... I'm curious, like, how popular it is. Got negative 20 degrees. Jeez. 70 here. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. We had like a cold front come in last night. Go for a walk or make dinner. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The exercise is good, but I understand. Food is also good. We eat turkey pretty often. Okay, okay. Interesting. Turkeys are really taking over the world. -4 Fahrenheit. Okay, yeah, it's -20. Yeah, that's cold. It's Florida. You have to suffer like the rest of us sometimes. Yep, yeah, Ben Franklin wanted the turkey to be his national bird. That's right. Turkey's related to peacock. I don't doubt that. Yeah, I'd believe that. His apartment like 60. Oh, we were dating. Yeah. God knows what's up. That's how I want my house to be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, birds aren't very friendly. Okay, he's not looking too good right now. What paint brand I'm using? I'm using Pro-Acryl by Monument Hobbies. That is by far my favorite paint brand. Yeah, we're gonna get this olive flesh out, and we're gonna start mixing into that green gray. Hot Pink by Pro-Acryl. Yeah, Hot Pink's a really cool color by them. I've used it a couple of times. Not much, but I have used it. Just spilled Tamiya glue on my wrist rest. Oh, that stinks. Hopefully it doesn't eat away at it. Hopefully your your armrest is the right material. You just switched to Pro about a month ago? Nice, good choice. These have been my preferred paints for like 3 or 4 years now. You get Sister Science hobby? Yeah, go ahead. Anything that makes them preferred over other brands? Yeah, there are a couple things that I really prefer about them. So one is that you get more in the bottle cheaper than like Games Workshop. So, you know, comparing it straight to Games Workshop, it's cheaper. I think a bottle costs about the similar amount, but you get almost twice as much in your bottle. It's 22 milliliters instead of 12. They have replaceable caps, so you can use the basic, like the twist nozzle they come with, which I don't prefer. I actually swapped all of mine out, and I use flip tops, so they just flip open. Just like that. The flip tops are nice because you can set them upside down and they rest. You can paint the top of them. Some of these I painted the top so I can see the color, you know, kind of dried and everything. And it's like $5 for 10 toppers or new lids. It's worth it. When I get a new bottle of paint, I swap out the top. I put the old top on them. So like, that's really nice, the different lid options. There's also a tall lid option like this, but there's a cap that comes off and has a nozzle instead of this like twist top that they have. So they have some cool different toppers. Their paint's made in the US, which is nice if that's something you care about. There's that. It's a smaller company. The paints are thin, and if you listen, they come with agitators with glass beads in the bottle, and you can hear how thin that paint is compared to like Games Workshop or even Army Painter Vallejo, where their paints are, you know, like really thick and need to be mixed with liquid and like diluted and stuff. These do not. So I put these, a lot of times I'll put them straight on a wet palette, and they're good to go. Now sometimes I'll thin them for different reasons, but on top of being thinner than something like GW, they're also they're way more densely pigmented. So the colors are all, for the most part, super vibrant. They have a lot of vibrant colors, but they cover well. They cover way better than your average Citadel paint or Army Painter or Vallejo paint, where they have a lot of one coat cover colors, and if they're not, it's a 2-coat cover. Yeah, so just yeah, like everything I want in a paint is what they have with these paints. So I always recommend buying them from a local store. If you have a local store that sells them, try out their Bold Titanium White, because white is always a tricky color, but if you try their white, I think you'll be pretty convinced that it's the best paint you can buy. And if you don't have a local store and you want to try out their paints, you can order on their website. And I am an affiliate of them. I'm an affiliate, well, it took me like a year of like streaming and using their paints before they accept me as an affiliate. So I've been chilling their products for a while. But if you want to buy in their web store, you can use I have a link if someone can link !PA. We'll put a link using it's my link, and you can use a coupon TPD, get 5% off your order. But then something else you can do is they have a create your own bundle. So they sell their paints in like little expansion packs, like of like 6 or 8 paints. And sometimes you look at those, you're like, man, I have all these paints I want to buy, but none of them are like a specific set. Well, what they do is if you order 8 of any color, but it has to be 8, you get, I think it's a 10% discount. It's essentially, you're buying it as if you're buying like one of the sets of paint, if you're ordering 8 paints at a time. So, thank you, Zen, thank you. But, yeah, so you can... Yeah, the Wizard's Butt, okay, so the Wizard's Butt is funny. They have this thing, like when they make paint, they make a quantity, and there's always like a tiny bit left over. And, that, like, I guess it's not enough to fit into a bottle or whatever. So they started saving it. And then what they do is all these leftover, like, extra paints, they mix it. And then they bottle it. And they used to give it away at conventions as Wizard's Butt. And it was like this big mysterious thing. Because, like, every bottle is different. It's never, like, the same color twice, right? And but they just started, I guess they just started selling it, or it's a limited time selling thing. I don't know how they're marketing it exactly. I do not own any Wizard's Butt. Yeah, the build your own set is really nice. Yeah. Limited time, and the Wizard Butt is 6 bottles. Okay. Yeah, it's sort of like a convention exclusive thing. So if you're going to a convention like Adepticon or something, and you see Monument Hobbies there, you should be able to get a bottle of Wizard's Butt somehow. You picked up 2 sets. Are they like usable colors? Are they like useful and everything? I never thought about like application. Yeah, they're selling them on their website. Yeah. They are usable colors. That's really cool. You know, I always looked at it before as kind of like a joke. But, you know, you get some unique colors that will never be seen again, basically. Because it'll never have that exact mix in it. So it's kind of a unique thing to get. Turn kind of red, that's great for highlights. Oh, nice. So you got some good colors out of it. Yeah, that's why I got 2 sets. Yeah. That's fair. Some teeth going on this guy. Alright, let's take a break on the skin for a little bit. Definitely looks like good and necrotic and everything. But what to do eyes, I'll do a little bit of blood around his mouth and everything. But let's take a break. Let's do his armor. And what I want to do with his armor is find a specific color. Yeah, let's try this one. Let's try this dark navy blue. I'm going to use this as the start to our highlight. Escalation League is a good time to learn the game, or is it more something to do before joining? I think it's a good time to learn. I think that's kind of the point, is you learn and you get, like, you build up your army as you're learning. Local store starting one in a couple weeks. I still have... I only saw one box of non-40 Firstborn. Is it a 40k? Escalation League then. Nice. All right. Well, good luck. They have a lot of fun. Just taking this dark navy blue and just going over our edges on this armor. Hey, Estrella, how you doing? Well, come in. Just chilling, working on this little vampire dude. Got a bit of blue. The color I want to use is this bright warm gray. Lunch break, nice, nice. It does look like the old school pewter Vlad, doesn't it? Seems very heavily inspired by that old mini. As a matter of fact, I have that old mini up as like a guide for how to paint this model. Is Old World before AOS? Yeah. Yeah, Old World was out. It wasn't called the Old World, it was just Warhammer Fantasy. And it was actually Games Workshop's their first big miniature game. You know, it was, and then they canceled that to put out Age of Sigmar because the sales weren't great. And then they brought it back for nostalgia purposes, and it's been making tons of money. So yeah, lore-wise, the Old World, or like Warhammer Fantasy World, literally and figuratively blows up. And then thousands of years later is the Age of Sigmar. See local stores. Never at the main gaming stores. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it probably sells better in certain stores, more so than others. But at this point, it's a specialist game, so it's definitely not like one of the main games. You know, like 40K or Age of Sigmar are the main games, and this is like kind of a side game, like Horus Heresy or Middle Earth or Blood Bowl or Necromunda or any of those. Okay. More. This warm white here, or warm gray. Bright warm gray, I guess. Just trying to get like the different corners. I kind of like it. I think we could do just a little more with this color. All right. We have the cape we need, or the fur, the bear skin that we need to paint. Do some work on his face, and there's a couple other things. His own, like, fingernail claws, gemstones, stuff like that. I think what I'll do, I'm going to do just a little on the gemstone. Just because I have... He's got 2 gemstones, one on his ring and one he's on his sword. Right, yeah, he does have a little one on his sword. So hit those a little bit of color real quick, and then I think I'm going to call it for the day. some, is that bright orange? What is this? Yellow orange. Two coats on there. I'm gonna cover it with some other colors when we get to it. So that might be something I do this weekend. I got some airbrushing to do to set up some other minis for painting. I have Thousand Suns that I primed and base coated, but I have to finish all their processes before they can be painted. Well, we'll do that. Alright, so just the start of those gyms. Let me get this guy. Hey, Fox. Didn't see you there. Welcome in. But, yeah, you guys have a great day, though. I'll be on Sunday night. So, we'll be on. We'll probably be painting minis and maybe finishing this guy and chatting about whatever is in the announcement stream on Friday. And then I will tell you, alright, I'm going to say with like 95% confidence, the Sunday preview from Games Workshop is Grand Cathay. It's Old World stuff. But, going to call that now. But, no, I'm not streaming tomorrow. But I will be on Sunday. So we'll be chatting. About all the happenings, all the hobby happenings, and painting more minis and stuff. So it should be a great time. But this is our progress on Not Vlad here, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And yeah, I will see you all on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bye, everybody.